Hi guys, welcome back to my wine diary. In this episode, let's talk about how much you should be spending on the bottle of wine, or what actually goes into that price tag, why some wines are more expensive than others. Let's find out. A recent study showed that majority of consumers spend anywhere from $10 to $20 when buying a bottle of wine. An average bottle of a red wine, about 3.6 rating, cost a little over $15, while a very good bottle of a red wine, about 4.0 rating, cost over $32 on average. So do most people overpay when purchasing wine? Let's start, of course, with the fact that retail wine prices depend on many factors, and without going into details about that, should really be a separate video for me to make. Let's rather talk about a value curve that happens right between $15 and $25 per bottle of wine. Look guys, I will be very blunt about this. There's really no reason to be paying $100 for a bottle of wine. Not even $35 for a bottle of wine, to be honest. Unless you're looking for one specific, very pricey bottle of wine, you should not be spending more than $25 on the bottle of wine. And a lot of times what happens is when you're spending more than $25 on a bottle of wine is you're paying more money, not so much for the quality of the wine, but you're paying more money for the region, for the area where that wine comes from, and the supply and demand in that area, for instance. So for some people it's worth it, of course, but think about that next time you splurge. And on the same note of supply and demand, once a wine gets well advertised and the demand for it grows, a winemaker will raise the price of that wine. So no brainer. Now you see why we have such high price tags for certain wines sometimes. Now, in a nutshell, paying anywhere from $15 to $25 for a bottle of wine is going to be the best bet for you to get the biggest bang for your buck. Lastly, please don't forget that wines are marked up massively in restaurants and bars. It's very common to see a bottle of wine for $20 in a liquor store, and then the same bottle of wine will be on a restaurant's wine list for $60 or so. This is the easiest way to increase restaurant sales and increase bar profitability in a specific restaurant. And after the restaurant goes through the trouble of obtaining a liquor license, they really should increase the price tag for a specific wine bottle, for any of their wine bottles, and all of them, to be honest. It's absolutely vital. So there's a lot more that goes in the price tag of a wine bottle in a restaurant or bar, but it mostly has to do with just all of the time that they spend obtaining that liquor license, the money that they put into it, and then many more factors on top of that too. So please don't ever expect for the price of a wine bottle in a restaurant to mimic the price of that same wine bottle in a liquor store or a wine store. I will keep this video nice and quick, but I am very interested to know how much are you paying normally for your bottles of wine, whether it's in a store or in a restaurant. Do you have a specific limit that you don't allow yourself to go over, perhaps? For me, that limit in a store, about $15 per bottle. Sometimes I go up to about 20 plus, depending on what I'm buying that wine for just a casual night at home or for a specific occasion, for instance. For that reason, I can splurge, of course. And then in a restaurant, I try to stick to about $50, $60, $70 mark, unless again, it's a very special occasion and I want to treat myself. So here you have it. This is a short video on how much I think, this is of course my opinion, you should be spending on a bottle of wine. Please leave any comments down below for me. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe. I talk about wine on this channel, and if you love wine, then this channel is for you. Thank you everyone for joining, and cheers until next time.